Embracing challenges is a foundational element of developing a growth mindset, a perspective that sees difficulties not as obstacles to be avoided, but as opportunities for learning and growth. In a world where comfort zones are often prioritized, this approach can seem counterintuitive, but it's crucial for personal and professional development. The willingness to take on challenges, even when they are daunting, is what separates those who stagnate from those who continuously evolve. When we think about challenges, they often evoke feelings of fear or anxiety. The prospect of failing or not meeting expectations can deter us from stepping into difficult situations. However, the truth is that challenges are inevitable in life, and avoiding them only delays the learning that comes from facing them head-on. Individuals with a growth mindset understand this reality and approach challenges with a sense of curiosity and determination, seeing them as essential components of self-improvement. One of the most significant benefits of embracing challenges is the development of resilience. When we face obstacles, we are forced to stretch beyond our current capabilities, mentally, emotionally, and sometimes physically. This process can be uncomfortable, but it is in this discomfort that growth occurs. Every time we tackle a difficult situation, we strengthen our ability to handle adversity in the future. Over time, this builds resilience, a quality that helps us persevere through even the toughest circumstances. For example, imagine a student who struggles with a particular subject. Instead of avoiding the challenge by switching to an easier course, the student who embraces the difficulty engages in extra practice, seeks help from tutors, and commits to mastering the material. In the process, the student not only improves their understanding of the subject but also learns valuable lessons about perseverance, problem-solving, and the importance of hard work. This mindset extends beyond academics into every area of life. By embracing challenges, we cultivate a belief that growth is always possible, no matter how difficult the circumstances. Challenges also foster creativity and innovation. When we face a problem that doesn't have an immediate or obvious solution, we are compelled to think outside the box. We are pushed to experiment with new approaches, explore different perspectives, and generate creative solutions. In the workplace, for instance, companies that encourage employees to embrace challenges often see more innovative ideas emerge. Employees feel empowered to experiment, take risks, and develop creative solutions to problems because they understand that failure is part of the learning process. In contrast, organizations that shy away from challenges tend to foster a culture of conformity, where individuals are afraid to try new things, resulting in stagnation. Moreover, embracing challenges leads to a deeper understanding of our strengths and weaknesses. When we push ourselves to tackle difficult tasks, we gain insight into areas where we excel and areas where we need to improve. This self-awareness is vital for personal growth because it allows us to focus our efforts on enhancing our weaknesses while leveraging our strengths. For instance, a person who challenges themselves by taking on a leadership role may discover that they have excellent communication skills but struggle with time management. With this knowledge, they can work to improve their time management skills while continuing to hone their communication abilities. Without the challenge, this valuable insight would have remained hidden. Additionally, challenges teach us patience and persistence. In today's fast-paced world, where immediate gratification is often expected, learning to be patient and persistent is more important than ever. Not all challenges can be overcome quickly or easily. Some may take weeks, months, or even years to resolve. Embracing challenges teaches us to stay committed to our goals, even when progress seems slow. This is especially true for long-term goals, such as building a successful career, developing a healthy lifestyle, or learning a new skill. The ability to persist in the face of challenges is what ultimately leads to success in these endeavors. Furthermore, when we embrace challenges, we also inspire others to do the same. Our actions serve as a model for those around us, whether they are colleagues, friends, or family members. When people see us tackle difficult situations with courage and resilience, they are more likely to adopt a similar mindset. This ripple effect can create a culture of growth and development in both personal and professional environments. For instance, in a team setting, when one person steps up to face a challenge, it often encourages others to do the same. This collective embrace of challenges can lead to higher levels of productivity, creativity, and collaboration within the group. One of the most powerful outcomes of embracing challenges is the sense of accomplishment that follows. There is a unique satisfaction that comes from overcoming something difficult. It boosts our confidence and reinforces the belief that we are capable of more than we initially thought. This newfound confidence can then be applied to future challenges, creating a positive cycle of growth and self-belief. Each challenge we overcome strengthens our belief in our own abilities, making us more willing to take on even greater challenges in the future. It's important to recognize that embracing challenges does not mean recklessly taking on more than we can handle. There is a difference between pushing ourselves to grow and overwhelming ourselves with unrealistic expectations. A growth mindset involves understanding that challenges should be approached strategically and with a sense of balance. This might mean breaking a large challenge down into smaller, more manageable steps or seeking support from others when necessary. By doing so, we ensure that we are not only embracing challenges but also setting ourselves up for success. In conclusion, embracing challenges is a vital part of developing a growth mindset. It allows us to build resilience, foster creativity, gain self-awareness, and develop patience and persistence. By approaching challenges with curiosity and determination, we open ourselves up to continuous learning and self-improvement. While challenges may be uncomfortable, they are also the key to unlocking our full potential. So the next time you are faced with a difficult situation, remember that it is an opportunity for growth. Embrace it wholeheartedly, and you'll be amazed at what you can achieve. Learning from failure is one of the most important components of developing a growth mindset. In a society that often celebrates success and shuns failure, it's easy to view mistakes as something to avoid at all costs. Yet, failure, when approached with the right mindset, is an invaluable teacher. It can guide us towards self-improvement, teach us resilience, and provide insight that success alone cannot offer. By shifting our perspective on failure, we can unlock its potential to foster personal and professional growth. Failure is often seen as a sign of inadequacy or lack of ability. However, those who have a growth mindset understand that failure is not a reflection of one's inherent capabilities. Instead, it is a natural part of the learning process. Failure means that we are trying something new, stepping out of our comfort zones, and pushing the boundaries of our current knowledge or skills. The only real failure is when we give up without taking the time to reflect on what went wrong and how we can improve. One of the first steps in learning from failure is to reframe how we perceive it. Instead of seeing failure as a dead end, we need to start viewing it as a stepping stone towards success. Every failure provides us with feedback, valuable information about what didn't work and why. This feedback is essential for growth because it helps us refine our approach. Just as an athlete watches game footage to identify mistakes and improve their performance, we can use our failures as opportunities to analyze our actions and strategies. When we ask ourselves, what can I learn from this, instead of why did this happen to me, we begin to unlock the potential within failure. This reflective process is key. Taking the time to evaluate what went wrong allows us to identify the gaps in our knowledge, skills, or approach. Often, failures reveal weaknesses we were unaware of or blind spots in our planning. For instance, a business that launches a new product only to see it fail may discover that the failure resulted from inadequate market research or poor communication with customers. By analyzing these factors, the business can adjust its strategy and increase its chances of success in the future. Without this reflection, the same mistakes are likely to be repeated, and growth is stunted. Failure also teaches us resilience. One of the greatest benefits of experiencing failure is that it forces us to confront discomfort and disappointment. These emotions, while unpleasant, are necessary for developing emotional strength. When we fail and pick ourselves up again, we build the mental toughness required to persist in the face of adversity. Each time we recover from failure, we become more resilient, better equipped to handle setbacks in the future. This resilience is what distinguishes those who succeed from those who give up. It's not that successful people never fail, rather, they refuse to let failure define them. Consider the stories of many renowned individuals who achieved great success after numerous failures. Thomas Edison, one of the greatest inventors in history, famously failed thousands of times before inventing the electric light bulb. When asked about his repeated failures, he reportedly said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison's perspective highlights the importance of perseverance and the ability to see failure as part of the journey toward success. His willingness to learn from each failed experiment ultimately led to one of the most transformative inventions of the modern world. Similarly, J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series, faced rejection after rejection from publishers before finally achieving literary success. In her now famous Harvard commencement speech, she spoke about the role that failure played in her journey. Rowling emphasized that her early failures allowed her to strip away the non-essentials and focus on what truly mattered: her passion for writing. This focus, born out of failure, enabled her to persevere and eventually find success on her own terms. These examples show that failure is not something to be feared but embraced as part of the growth process. Without failure, there would be no innovation, no progress, and no learning. The key is not to avoid failure but to learn from it and use it to fuel future success. Those who understand this principle are able to take calculated risks and push themselves beyond their current limitations because they know that even if they fail, they will come out stronger on the other side. In addition to fostering resilience and growth, failure also teaches humility. It reminds us that we don't have all the answers and that we are always in the process of learning. This humility is essential for continuous self-improvement. When we acknowledge our mistakes and accept responsibility for them, we open ourselves up to new ideas and feedback from others. This openness allows us to adapt, evolve, and improve in ways that we wouldn't if we were too proud to admit our shortcomings. However, learning from failure requires more than just a willingness to reflect and persevere. It also requires a supportive environment that encourages risk-taking and views mistakes as part of the learning process. In many organizations, schools, and even families, failure is stigmatized, and this can stifle creativity and growth. When people fear the consequences of failure, whether it's punishment, embarrassment, or loss of opportunity, they are less likely to take risks or try new things. This fear of failure leads to a culture of playing it safe, where innovation is stifled and growth is limited. Creating an environment that supports learning from failure involves changing the way we talk about and react to mistakes. Leaders, teachers, and parents can play a crucial role in fostering a growth mindset by praising effort and learning rather than just results. When people are encouraged to take risks and are reassured that failure is a natural part of the process, they become more willing to step out of their comfort zones and embrace challenges. Furthermore, sharing stories of failure and resilience can help normalize the experience and reduce the fear of failure. When people hear about others who have failed and eventually succeeded, it reinforces the idea that failure is not a permanent state, but a temporary setback on the road to success. In conclusion, learning from failure is a critical aspect of developing a growth mindset. Failure offers us the opportunity to reflect, build resilience, and gain valuable insights that contribute to personal and professional growth. By reframing failure as a learning experience rather than a defeat, we can unlock its potential to help us grow and improve. Instead of avoiding failure, we should embrace it, knowing that it is through failure that we learn, innovate, and ultimately succeed. Focusing on effort and progress is one of the core principles of a growth mindset, emphasizing the importance of continuous improvement rather than being solely fixated on outcomes. In a society that often prioritizes quick success and tangible results, it's easy to lose sight of the value of effort and the journey of development. However, a growth mindset teaches us that the process, how much effort we put in, and how we measure progress is far more important in the long run than simply achieving an immediate goal. Effort is what drives progress, and those with a growth mindset understand that success is not about innate talent or fixed abilities, but rather about the work we put into improving ourselves. Many people fall into the trap of believing that if they are not naturally good at something, they never will be. This is a hallmark of a fixed mindset, where the focus is on inherent abilities rather than potential growth. In contrast, those who adopt a growth mindset recognize that skills, intelligence, and talents can be developed through sustained effort. This shift in perspective makes a significant difference in how we approach learning, challenges, and even failure. One of the most significant benefits of focusing on effort is that it promotes perseverance. When we value effort, we become more willing to push through difficulties and setbacks because we understand that persistence is key to progress. This stands in stark contrast to the fixed mindset, where people often give up when things get tough, believing that their limitations are set in stone. A growth mindset, however, teaches us that every bit of effort moves us closer to mastery, even when immediate results are not visible. Consider the story of Michael Jordan, widely regarded as one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Jordan was famously cut from his high school basketball team, but instead of seeing this as a sign that he wasn't talented enough, he used it as motivation to work harder. Jordan's relentless focus on effort rather than natural ability alone is what led to his extraordinary success. His story is a perfect example of how continuous effort leads to progress over time. Jordan didn't just rely on his talent, he spent countless hours practicing, refining his skills, and pushing himself to improve. This dedication to effort and progress is what made him one of the greatest athletes in history. Effort is also crucial because it allows us to take control of our growth. While we cannot always control the outcome of a situation, we can control how much effort we put in. This sense of agency is empowering, as it shifts the focus away from external factors that are beyond our control like luck or the talent of others and places it squarely on what we can influence. By focusing on effort, we take ownership of our growth and development, recognizing that our success is a direct result of the work we put in. In addition to effort, focusing on progress is equally important. Progress refers to the small, incremental improvements that we make over time, and it is often a better indicator of success than immediate results. When we focus solely on the end goal, we may become discouraged if we don't achieve it quickly. However, by shifting our attention to progress, we begin to appreciate the gradual improvements that accumulate through consistent effort. Tracking progress helps to keep us motivated, even when the ultimate goal seems far away. For example, learning a new skill such as playing an instrument, mastering a language, or developing a technical ability can be overwhelming at first. If we focus only on the fact that we are not yet proficient, it's easy to become frustrated and lose motivation. However, when we pay attention to the small wins such as mastering a new chord, successfully having a short conversation in the new language, or solving a coding problem, these moments of progress serve as reminders that we are moving forward, even if the final goal is still in the distance. A focus on progress also encourages the practice of self-reflection. By regularly assessing where we started, where we are now, and how far we've come, we gain valuable insight into our development. This reflection not only boosts motivation but also helps us identify areas where we can improve and adjust our strategies accordingly. For instance, athlete training for a marathon may track their running distance and time over several months. By reflecting on their progress, they can see clear improvements in stamina and speed, which motivates them to keep going. At the same time, they can also identify any areas that need more focus, such as pacing or endurance during the final miles. Focusing on effort and progress also helps us cultivate patience. In a world that often demands instant results, it can be easy to feel frustrated if success doesn't come quickly. However, when we understand that meaningful progress takes time, we become more patient with ourselves in the process. This patience allows us to enjoy the journey of growth rather than becoming discouraged by the speed of our progress. It also reinforces the understanding that mastery is achieved through consistent effort over time, not through quick fixes or shortcuts. One of the challenges of focusing on effort and progress is overcoming the temptation to compare ourselves to others. It's natural to look at someone else's success and feel discouraged if we haven't reached the same level. However, comparison is often misleading because we don't see the full picture of someone else's journey. The person we admire may have spent years working hard to get where they are, making their progress the result of sustained effort. Instead of comparing ourselves to others, it's more productive to compare ourselves to where we were yesterday, last week, or last year. By doing so, we can measure our own progress and take pride in how far we've come. A growth mindset also shifts the way we define success. Success is no longer just about achieving a particular goal, but about the effort we put in and the progress we make along the way. This redefinition helps to reduce the fear of failure, as we begin to understand that failure is not the opposite of success, but rather a part of the process. When we focus on effort, we see failures as opportunities to learn and grow, knowing that each setback brings us closer to success. This mindset helps to build resilience, as we are less likely to be discouraged by temporary setbacks and more likely to keep pushing forward. In conclusion, focusing on effort and progress is essential for developing a growth mindset. Effort drives improvement, while tracking progress keeps us motivated and helps us appreciate the journey of growth. By valuing the process rather than just the outcome, we learn to persist through challenges, develop patience, and take ownership of our development. When we shift our focus to effort and progress, we create a mindset that fosters continuous learning, resilience, and long-term success. Valuing feedback and embracing continuous learning are essential elements of a growth mindset, promoting the idea that we are never finished growing and that learning is a lifelong process. In contrast to a fixed mindset, where abilities and intelligence are seen as static, a growth mindset encourages us to seek out opportunities for development, and feedback becomes a crucial tool in that journey. Understanding how to use feedback and adopting a mindset of continuous learning can drive both personal and professional success, while fostering adaptability and resilience. Feedback is often perceived as criticism, and for those with a fixed mindset, it can feel threatening. When we equate our performance with our self-worth, feedback may be taken as a personal attack. However, a growth mindset reframes feedback as an opportunity for improvement. It is not a judgment of who we are, but a tool to help us grow. Those who value feedback actively seek it out, understanding that constructive criticism offers insights they may not see on their own. By viewing feedback as a means to refine skills, correct mistakes, and gain new perspectives, we unlock the potential for continuous development. In professional environments, feedback is especially important because it helps individuals and teams align their efforts with goals and standards. A person who is open to feedback is more likely to improve their performance because they are not afraid to confront their weaknesses. For example, a manager might give an employee feedback on how to improve their communication skills during meetings. Rather than feeling defensive, an employee with a growth mindset would view this as a chance to enhance a crucial skill. They would likely practice and make adjustments, eventually leading to stronger performance in future meetings. Feedback not only identifies areas for growth but also reinforces positive behaviors. It helps us understand what we are doing well and encourages us to continue those actions. For example, a student who receives feedback that praises their analytical thinking in a paper will recognize that this is a strength worth nurturing. In the long run, this recognition helps to build confidence, as people become aware of both their areas of expertise and the places where they can grow. This balance of constructive criticism and positive reinforcement is key to development. For feedback to be truly valuable, it needs to be actionable. Receiving vague or overly critical feedback without clear direction can leave individuals feeling lost or demoralized. A growth mindset encourages us not only to accept feedback but to engage with it thoughtfully. We should ask questions and seek clarification when necessary, ensuring that we fully understand how to apply the feedback in a meaningful way. Additionally, those providing feedback should strive to be specific, offering clear guidance on what improvements can be made and how to make them. Feedback is a two-way street. While it's important to seek feedback from others, it's equally important to give feedback when necessary. This requires emotional intelligence and tact. When providing feedback, it's helpful to approach it from a place of growth, focusing on how the other person can improve rather than simply pointing out faults. Offering constructive feedback helps create a culture of continuous learning, where individuals feel supported in their development rather than criticized or judged. In tandem with valuing feedback is the principle of continuous learning. A growth mindset fosters the belief that there is always more to learn, regardless of one's age, experience, or accomplishments. Learning does not end with formal education, it is a lifelong process. Those who embrace continuous learning are curious and open to new ideas, seeking out opportunities to expand their knowledge and skills. This openness to learning fuels both personal and professional growth, as it encourages adaptability and innovation. In today's rapidly changing world, the ability to learn and adapt is more important than ever. Technology, industries, and societal norms are evolving at a pace that requires individuals to be flexible and willing to learn new skills. Those who cling to outdated knowledge or resist learning new methods may find themselves left behind. In contrast, individuals who pursue continuous learning remain agile, able to pivot and thrive in new environments. For example, in the tech industry, professionals must constantly update their skills to stay relevant, whether it's learning a new programming language or mastering the latest tools and software. Continuous learning also means being willing to challenge our own assumptions and beliefs. A growth mindset encourages us to approach new information with an open mind, recognizing that our current knowledge is not absolute. This humility allows us to learn from a variety of sources, whether through books, online courses, colleagues, mentors, or even personal experiences. It also encourages us to be lifelong students, not just of academic subjects but of life itself. Each experience offers a lesson, and by staying curious and reflective, we continue to grow. One of the key habits of lifelong learners is the ability to self-reflect. Reflecting on our experiences, decisions, and behaviors allows us to identify patterns and areas for improvement. This reflection process is closely linked to the feedback loop. By combining external feedback with internal reflection, we gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and our progress. This continuous cycle of feedback and reflection ensures that learning is ongoing and that growth remains a priority. A practical approach to continuous learning is to set small, achievable goals. Learning a new skill or mastering a subject doesn't happen overnight, and setting unrealistic expectations can lead to frustration. Instead, individuals with a growth mindset break the learning process into manageable steps, celebrating small victories along the way. For example, someone looking to improve their public speaking skills might start by practicing in front of a small group of friends before progressing to larger audiences. Each step builds confidence and competence, reinforcing the habit of continuous learning. It's important to note that a commitment to continuous learning isn't just about acquiring new skills, it's also about unlearning outdated habits or beliefs that no longer serve us. Sometimes personal growth requires letting go of ways of thinking or behaving that limit our potential. This process can be uncomfortable, as it challenges our sense of identity and comfort zones. However, a growth mindset teaches us that this discomfort is part of the learning process, and by embracing it, we open ourselves up to new possibilities. In professional environments, organizations that foster a culture of continuous learning are more likely to succeed in the long term. Employees who are encouraged to pursue professional development and acquire new skills feel more engaged and valued. In turn, they contribute fresh ideas and perspectives that drive innovation. Organizations that resist learning, on the other hand, often become stagnant, with employees who feel unmotivated and disconnected from growth opportunities. In conclusion, valuing feedback and embracing continuous learning are essential for personal and professional development. Feedback provides the insights we need to refine our skills, while continuous learning keeps us open to new ideas and growth opportunities. Together, these principles create a mindset that encourages adaptability, resilience, and the pursuit of excellence. By seeking out feedback, reflecting on our experiences, and staying curious, we can ensure that learning remains a lifelong journey, one that leads to continuous improvement and success.